Hey, church family, I wanted to take this opportunity to present you with another word of encouragement as we continue to pray for the outcome of this election. You know, it's 2 days past Election Day, and I must confess that I'm really not surprised by the situation that we're watching unfold. But now, before I get into a whole rant about the issues of universal mail-in voting and election fraud and suppressor votes and all these sorts of things, I simply just want to take this moment to remind you that the King of Kings is still on the throne, and He's promised to raise up leaders according to His perfect plan. Therefore, we can rejoice this morning in knowing that God is going to accomplish His will right here in America. I would also point out that the pro-life movement here in Texas has actually secured several election victories. As a matter of fact, this election has actually resulted in pro-life victories in Harris, Tarrant, and Collin counties. And not only that, but Congressman Chip Roy defeated Texas' most well-known pro-abortion radical Wendy Davis, and Senator John Cornyn defeated M.J. Hagar, who was determined to codify Roe v. Wade in an attempt to keep that decision from being overturned. It was back in January when M.J. Hagar passionately presented her personal point of view on abortion by declaring this. She said, "I have had 2 difficult pregnancies, and I am grateful that during that time the government wasn't standing between me and my doctor during very personal discussions. Politicians should not legislate a woman's most intimate decisions," as she proceeds to legislate those decisions. But I most certainly feel for her situation, and I most certainly agree that the life of the mother ought to be protected from, life-threatening pregnancy complications. And yet the fact of the matter is that, these situations are extremely rare. They're extremely rare. And in order to prove my point, I want to consider the stats that come out of the state of Florida. Florida actually records the reason for every abortion that occurs within their borders. And according to their data, 0.27% of abortions were due to a life-threatening complication which endangered the life of the mother. 0.27%. Not even 1%. And if this data holds true for the rest of the country, then listen, it's safe to say that less than 1% of the abortions that occur here in America are performed in order to save the life of the mother. And yet this is the argument that is oftentimes used in order to justify an abortion industry that is ripping more than 2,000 babies from the womb of their mother each and every day. Christian, listen, political leaders like M.J. Hagar, the leaders who would have us to believe that abortion on demand is a right because this is necessary for protecting the life of the mother, they're actually being extremely deceptive. In order to prove my point, I would just appeal to a few experts. Consider this statement made by Alan Guttmacher, who's the former president of Planned Parenthood. He's the former president of Planned Parenthood, and here's what he had to say. "Today, it is possible for almost any patient to be brought through pregnancy alive, unless she suffers from a fatal disease such as cancer or leukemia, and if so, abortion would be unlikely to prolong, much less save the life of the mother." That's right, the former president of Planned Parenthood has assured us that current medical advances now provide us with the ability to protect both mother and baby. Therefore, M.J. Hagar's argument is completely bogus. I would also appeal to a statement made by Dr. Bernard Nathanson. He's on the American Bioethics Advisory Commission. Here's what he had to say. "There are no conceivable clinical situations today where abortion is necessary to save the life of the mother. In fact, if her health is threatened and an abortion is performed, the abortion increases risks the mother will incur regarding her health." Simply put, listen, if the life of the mother is the actual concern here, then it's more dangerous for her to have the abortion than to not have one. With that being the case, we have to insist that arguments that M.J. Hagar and ladies like her are presenting, they're bogus arguments. Therefore, we can rejoice in knowing that Texas has rejected the pro-abortion leadership of M.J. Hagar. Now, I realize that there are many other arguments that pro-abortion advocates will be quick to present, and it's for this reason that I encourage you to tune in tonight at 6:30 p.m. for our next installment of Studio 118. We're going to spend our time tonight tackling this tough topic of abortion. We're going to consider what the science reveals. We're going to consider the arguments on both sides. And we're going to see what is most logical, what is most scientific, and finally, what is most biblical. I invite you to join us tonight. You can be part of the live studio audience at Calvary South Austin, or you can watch live on Austin Cable Access 11, or you can watch online right here at calvarysouthaustin.com. I do hope to see you soon, but until I do, let's continue fighting the good fight of faith, all for the glory of God.